What if ignoring your birthday isn't about sadness, but is actually a powerful act of self-protection? For a lot of us, the idea of a birthday doesn't spark joy. It brings a quiet dread, the forced smiles, the pressure to feel happy, and the ghost of parties past. If you'd rather treat your birthday like any other Tuesday, you're not cold or broken. You might just be protecting your peace. We're going to explore 3 deep psychological reasons why some people let their birthday pass without any fanfare. The answers reveal something fundamental about how we find meaning in our lives. By the end, you won't just understand them, you might just understand yourself a whole lot better too. Reason 1. The old scars of celebrations past. For some people, that birthday silence isn't really a choice. It's an echo. It's a protective shell built around an old wound. Imagine being a kid. Your birthday is the most exciting day of the year. You plan the party, you pick the theme, and you wait by the door, but only a few people show up. Or maybe your family was always too busy, too distracted, or too stressed to make you feel truly seen. You'd get a quick happy birthday in passing, but the day always felt heavy with disappointment. When that letdown hits year after year, your brain does something pretty clever to protect you. Psychologists call it learned helplessness. And it doesn't just stem from birthdays. It can come from any pattern of life disappointments that teaches you to stop getting your hopes up. The excitement you once felt gets tangled up with the anxiety of being let down, so you learn to shut it all down preemptively. You tell yourself, I don't care about my birthday. But what you're often really saying is, it hurts too much to care. It becomes a defense mechanism, an unconscious way to avoid that familiar ache of feeling forgotten. Over time, treating the day as normal just feels safer than risking that old pain. Reason 2. The performance of modern overload. All right, let's fast forward from the past to our ridiculously demanding present. For another group of people, ignoring their birthday has less to do with old wounds and more to do with pure, uncut modern burnout. Our brains are swimming in a sea of notifications, deadlines, and responsibilities. We're in a state of what psychologists call chronic busyness. This creates a phenomenon known as attentional residue, a concept explored by researcher Sophie Leroy. It's when thoughts about one task linger and bleed into the next, so your brain never fully switches off. That mental hangover makes it tough to distinguish between what's special and what's just more noise. In this state, a birthday can feel less like a celebration and more like another exhausting task. There's the pressure to perform happiness, to reply to every single message, and to orchestrate the perfect day. For someone already drowning in obligations, this social performance feels like a lead weight. Ignoring a birthday becomes a quiet rebellion against the pressure to add one more thing to a life that already feels too full. It's not a statement of sadness, it's a survival tactic. It's a way of reclaiming a day for quiet and peace, rather than giving it over to the performance of celebration. If any of this is starting to make sense, do me a favor and hit that like button. It's a quiet way of saying, I get it, and it helps other people who feel the same way find this conversation. Reason 3. The peace of inner validation. And that brings us to our third group. These folks might have the time, the friends, and the energy to celebrate. They just don't feel the need to. And their reason might be the most powerful of all. This isn't loneliness or burnout. It's a quiet, powerful form of emotional independence. From a young age, many of us are taught to look outside ourselves for validation. Good grades for praise, accomplishments for applause, and birthdays for gifts and attention. Our sense of self-worth gets tied to what other people think and do for us. But as some people mature, a gradual shift starts to happen. They slowly move their source of validation from the outside world to their inner world. This is backed by psychology's self-determination theory, which states that true well-being comes from inner satisfaction and a sense of autonomy. These individuals don't need a date on the calendar to feel special because they've learned to cultivate worth and find joy in their everyday lives. Their happiness isn't rented, it's rooted. Now, this doesn't mean they're antisocial hermits. In fact, they often prioritize deep, meaningful connections over wide, superficial ones. They've simply found a kind of inner peace that doesn't depend on anyone else to orchestrate it. So, you see, it's not just one thing. There's a whole spectrum of reasons for skipping the party. On one end, you have the old scars, where ignoring a birthday is a shield. In the middle, you have the overload of modern life, where it's a bid for peace. And at the far end, You have a profound sense of self-worth, where a big celebration just isn't necessary for validation. There is no right or wrong way to feel about the day you were born. Whether you celebrate with a week-long party or a quiet cup of coffee, what matters is that the choice is truly your own. So I'm curious, what's your relationship with your birthday? Share your experience in the comments below. It's a space for real stories, not judgment. And if this video gave you a new perspective, subscribe for more content that dives into the psychology of how we live.